As a young lad learning the ropes of Magic the Gathering, everyone would point and yell at me saying, you can't have Planeswalkers in the command zone, even though it makes sense. Well, guess what? That was a lie, because there are, in fact, 34 Planeswalkers in all of Magic the Gathering so far that can be your commander, and I'm going to explain each and every single one of them in under 17 minutes. But before we get to that, this program is brought to you by viewers like you over on the Patreon. I'll help your commander deck. I'll roast your commander deck. Heck, I'll even build you your own. Check out the Patreon. And I'll do it all live on twitch.tv/Quips&Guac_. Check it out. Also, hit that bell notification. Ding dong. And if you're on mobile, hype up this video. Anyway, let's dive right into the excitement. First up is a Johnny Nakata Pariah. Look at him. He's clearly a guy and not a planeswalker. That is, unless you have a cat who dies. Then he's an Avenger. Bum, 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 bum. What does he do? Well, simplified is he makes strong cats. You can do a cat blast to your opponents, and you can do a little farewell at home as his ultimate ability. Not too bad, kind of meh though. Then we got Chandra, Fire of Kaladesh. Hey look, it's a lady and not a planeswalker. That is unless you do damage, and like Lady Macbeth, out damn spot, you got blood on your hands. You can transform Chandra, Roaring Flame. Look at that. Does a little bit of damage to somebody, does a little damage to a creature, and then does a lot of damage to your opponents as your ultimate ability. Pretty cool. It's fire, in my opinion. Then we got Grist, Voracious Larva. Look at him. He's a little hungry caterpillar. And when you reanimate something Benicio del Toro Frankenstein style out of your graveyard, boom, now he's Grist the Plague Swarm. And guess what? He looks like Scyther from frickin' Pokemons. What does he do? Well, he makes a little 1/1 black creature token and mills. Then you can destroy something, which is cool. And then you can do Honey, I Shrunk My Reanimate, where now every creature, you get a copy of it from your graveyard, except it's a little insect. That's pretty cool. You see what I did there? It's funny. It's cool. I like it. Now, you might notice a pattern. We have creatures, if they go through a hoop, they become a planeswalker. So you're good at pattern recognition. Let's just speed through it. We got Jace, Vryn's Prodigy. You draw cards, you have stuff in your graveyard, boom. He's Telepath Unbound now. What does that do? Well, you can weaken your one creature. Wow, big. Then you can flashback stuff from your graveyard. Okay. And then you can now have 20 spells equal one less opponent because you mill them 5 cards for each time you cast a spell. This guy is really meh. Then we got Kithion, Hero of Akros. Look at him. He's a little twink, and he goes through twink death into Gideon Battleforged. What does he do? Well, you can taunt an opponent into attacking you. You can untap and make something indestructible. That's pretty cool. And then finally, he just becomes a 4/4 unkillable Chad. That's pretty cool. Prevent all damage. I like him. It's aura. Then we got Liliana, Heretical Healer. Basically, if anything dies that we control, suddenly, bink, they're a Defiant Necromancer. Look at that. Each player discards a card. That's pretty simple. Then we can reanimate kinda from our graveyard. And finally, we can Rise of the Dark Realms microdose, where whenever a creature dies, we get it back from their graveyard or any graveyard. And that's pretty cool. And it's sick. Then we got Nicol Bolas, the Ravager. This guy is awesome. We pay a lot of mana, and then we get a big Nicol Bolas the Arisen. Look at him. We draw 2 cards. That's big. We can do a big blast to a creature or planeswalker. We can put a creature or planeswalker from a graveyard onto our battlefield. And then finally, we can just play or remove somebody. Exile all but the bottom card of that player's library. They die. This thing is sick. This thing is aura. This thing is fire. I love it. Next up is Nissa, Vastward Seer. Basically, if you have 7 lands in green, wow, who would have thought you get a Sage Animist? Reveal the top card. It's a ramp and draw sometimes. Then you can make a 4/4. That's it. That's all you get to do. And then you can untap 6 lands and also get 6 6/6s. That's like the devil's number. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's meh. Then we got Ral Monsoon Mage. Look at him. He's cool. You get to do a little bit of gambling. And when you win the gamble, suddenly he's a Leyline Prodigy. Isn't that neat? He enters with a bunch of stuff equal to the number of sorceries. Who cares? You get a coupon where now your stuff costs a little bit less. You can do a little tickle doing 2 damage. Wow, look at that. But you get to draw a card if you have something blue. That's cool. Then Oprah mode. You get the top 8 cards of your library. Any instant or sorcery in there, you can cast them for free. That's pretty okay. Then we got Sorin of Harsh Malkarv. Look at that. I love speaking English. 1 in a black. Hey, he's cool. If you heal, you get a little bit of scary Sorin. Look at that. He's got Extort. Who cares? You make a food token. Wow, that's huge. Then you can deal damage equal to the amount of life you gained. That's cool. Little life gain blast. Finally, hey, give me your commander. They're mine now. I get to control them. They're a vampire. And if I've got another white permanent, suddenly it's got lifelink now. That's pretty cool. I just like the idea of it. It's sick. Then we got Tamio, Inquisitive Student, 1 blue mana. Look at that. If you draw a lot of cards, boom, you do more draw cards. What does it do? Well, you get bad propaganda. Whenever a creature attacks you, it gets a little bit weaker. That's it. Then you can get okay flashback. Cool. And then you can draw half your deck and get no max hand size. Wow. Eat your heart out, Jace Telepath. This Tameo is just you, but better, in my opinion. So it's okay. Now, of course, you might notice we had to work for those guys. We had to put in some elbow grease. You know, we got to work them, do something, jump through the hoops. And because of that, they're kind of less cool, in my opinion, than the other Commander Planeswalkers that we can get. Besides Nicol Bolas, obviously, I love him. So now we get to change lanes. Ladies and gents, this is the moment you waited for. Whoa, whoa. Anyway, we're going to bend the rules a little bit because now we're talking about cooling the gang, a.k.a. time for celebration, because these can be your commander written on the box. So Amanatu, the Fate Shifter. What does this guy do? Well, you can set up for miracles. I think that's the only reason why the +1 exists. That's kind of cool. Then you can blink something. Okay, that's kind of cool. And you can do the Cupid Shuffle as your ultimate ability, choosing left or right. Everybody just shuffles their stuff that way. I kind of like it. It's cool. It's okay. Then we got Commodore Guff. Look at this guy. He's helping his friends out. Beginning of your end step, put a loyalty counter on another target Planeswalker. How nice. Then we get Planeswalker Ramp, aka we can get a red mana wizard that makes red mana for only Planeswalker spells. Cool. And then we draw X and blast X, where X is the number of Planeswalkers we control. And that's very cool. It's sick. Then we got Doretti Scrap Savant. You know what I'm saying. 4 mana for a little Doretti. Basically, you get card selection. 2 cards, draw that many cards. Cool. Then we can tax evade. We can sack an artifact and return target artifact from the graveyard to the battlefield. Yikes. And what does that do? Insane tax evasion as our ultimate on this one. Emblem. Whenever an artifact is put into the graveyard, actually give it back. That's crazy. And you know what is going to happen? It's Mad Max mode. They're going to run the Wormcoil engine, the Mere Battlesphere, the Portal to Phyrexia. Just evil. Just evil. It's sick, though. I like it. Then we got Diata, Binder of Wills. This one's cool. It's basically got a Pokemon hat because basically I choose you. You get all the keywords now. Lifelink, Vigilance, Indestructible. That's fun. Then we got Draw and or Ramp. You look at the top 4. Any legendary, into my hand. Anything not legendary, make a treasure. That's kind of cool. And then we get to let me borrow all your stuff. Gain control of all non-land permanents until end of turn. Untap them, they gain haste. That's insane. I win the game off of that, basically. It's pretty cool. It's sick. Then we got Elminster. Just kidding. Nobody plays that guy, actually. Like, nobody plays him. So he's not even relevant. Now we got Estrid, the Masked. Would have been nice during COVID, am I right? Heyo, zinger. Then we got Untap so many things. Because each enchanted permanent we control, that's land, that's all those little creatures. It's going to be a lot of things that are enchanted. And we can actually enchant stuff ourselves, making a little shield token enchantment, because now it's got totem armor. So if it's going to destroy, it's going to actually destroy that instead. That's cool. Then we're just going to bring everything back. Top 7 cards of our library into our graveyard. All enchantments back onto the battlefield. Insane. It's pretty cool. Then we got Frey Elise, Lanoir's Fury. Look at this. We can ramp. In green, wow. Round of applause. I'll take a moment of silence there. All right. Then we can remove target artifact or enchantment. Okay. Getting bold here. And draw like 1,000,000 cards for each green creature we control. Wow, daring today, aren't we, sir? Then we got it's okay. So Jared Carthalion, he's all 5 colors. That's cool. And what does he do? He makes a 3/3, a hold for the applause. Then we can choose any number of target creatures, and we can, not any number, but up to 2. And then we get to put a +1 counter on them for how Roy G. Biv they are. That's pretty neat. And we can return target multicolored. We get a card back, we draw sometimes, and we make a treasure sometimes. You got to have a lot of 5-color stuff in there, so it's like, is it really that worth it? I don't know. It's okay. Then we got Lord Windgrace. Look at him. We draw, kind of. We discard, then draw, and if it's a land, we get more card. That's cool. Ramp, kind of. We get 2 cards back from our graveyard to the battlefield. Okay. And we can do a blast and cap maneuver where we blast a bunch of non-land permanents and then make 6 2/2s. All right. They have Forest Walk, but okay. Then, ladies and gents, this is the moment you waited for, because now it's time for Minsk and Boo, Timeless Heroes. My God, these guys are awesome. We get a free hamster on our upkeep, and when this guy enters the battlefield, love that. It's Boo, it's a free hamster. Then we can make that hamster buff as hell, making him a 4/4 basically instantly. And then guess what? We can do a hamster blast and a hamster draw. Love it. Sack the hamster, do a bunch of damage, draw a bunch of cards. It's sick. I love this guy. The Ozolith, don't even get me started on it, but yeah, it's cracked out of its mind. It's sick as hell. Aura and fire indeed. Now we got Nahiri, the Lithomancer. 5 mana, but guess what? We can get a free guy and attach a sword to him. That's kind of cool. Then we can put a battlefield thingy from an equipment onto the battlefield. That's kind of ramp, kind of, because we don't have to pay that. And then not worth it. We can make a not worth it sword. It's 10 loyalty to get that all for a 5/5 and double strike equip 0. Meh, kind of mid. Then we got Cauldron Complete, though, because we can throw that in there. That's kind of cool. Or Skull Clamp, kind of cool. I like it. It's sick. Nahiri's cool. Then we got Obnixilis of the Black Oath. What does he do? Each opponent loses 1 life. Wow, huge. And then we get a 5/5 flyer. Wow, insane. And then we get an actually decent card draw and sack outlet at -8. So you kind of really got to work for this guy. Otherwise, I don't know. It's okay. We got Saheeli the Gifted. All right, now hear me out. You make a 1/1 servo. Meh. Then we get the why wouldn't you not use this one instead of the 1/1 servo. Next spell you cast this turn costs 1 less for each artifact you control as you cast it. Why would you not use that one? And then you can just kind of win the game, basically. You make a artifact copy of everything you own, basically, for each artifact you control. Yeah, you get a copy of them. You know what I'm saying? It's fire. Then we got Savitri, a Dragon Master. Basically, it's Norn's Annex, where, yeah, you have to pay life to attack me. Okay. You can dragon up a tutor. That's pretty cool. And then you get a one-sided board wipe. No more non-dragon creatures. All right. It's kind of, it's okay. It's limited design. Tasha the Witch Queen. Hey, look at this one. When you cast something you don't own, you get a 3/3. That's cool. Then you can draw a card, exile something cool from someone's graveyard. And then for this one, you can then cast those spells now. That's cool. So then you get demons and stuff. It's all right. I like it. It's sick. Then we got Teferi Temple Archmage. All right, you get card draw / select because you get to draw and then put stuff back. Whatever. Nothing broken here though. You don't get to untap anything. It's crazy. And then you get instant speed loyalty forever with the -10 ultimate ability. But don't even get me started on the Chain Veil. And because of the Chain Veil existing, and so does that Teferi, I'm just going to give it the sideways colon sad face because, yeah, you should never play this. You're evil. Now we got Luca, Wayward Bonder. Basically, don't ever look at that little bottom part of the card. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Basically, we get card positivity if we are discarding 2 cards that are creatures or whatever. Then we get to reanimate Red Style, a.k.a. put it from the graveyard on the battlefield with haste and then kill it later. Then we get a permanent Warstorm Surge as our ultimate. That's pretty neat, but ultimately just okay as a commander. Next up is Tybalt, Cosmic Imposter. Don't look down there. Don't look down there. Don't worry about it. Enters, we get a Theft Emblem, so now we can play things exiled with him with whatever mana we want. So we get to +2 and do the exile thing with him. That's cool. -3, exile very specific things with him. Very cool. -8, exile all cards from all graveyards and then add some mana. That's pretty neat. We get to do all the things. Very cool. He's 7 mana, so everyone thinks he's okay, but in my book, he's pretty sick. Now, we all know, what's better than 1 Planeswalker commander? 2 Planeswalker commanders. Exactly. So we got Will Kenrith and Rowan Kenrith, the dynamic duo, like Sam and Dean Winchester, like Sherlock Holmes and Watson, like Doctor Who and whoever the companion is at any given time. They're great. Will Kenrith, guess what? Shrink Ray up to 2 target creatures are now 0/3s and lose all abilities. Isn't that cool? Target player draws 2 and they get a discount on instant sorcery and Planeswalkers. That's cool. Then you get an emblem that just gives you a permanent extra copy of an instant sorcery spell. So whenever you cast it, you get to copy it. That's pretty crazy. Then Rowan Kenrith, guess what? We get to rage bait target player, having each creature that player controls attack. That's funny. Giga Lightning Bolt to all of them once they are tapped. Pretty funny. And you get to permanently double your activated abilities as long as they're not mana abilities. So all your Planeswalkers now do double. That's pretty cool. But I hate to say it, they're okay, in my opinion. I don't know. Next up, we got Tavesh Sazat, Doom of Fools. Look at this guy. And Jessica, Thrice Reborn. They can both be commanders and they can both be partners. So they're kissing. So they're like Sam and Dean, or like Sherlock and Watson, or like Doctor Who and some of his companions, you know, kissing and stuff. That's not the main part of it, but you know what it is. Devashat, basically, we get to make some chump blockers, some little 2/0/1s. That's kind of funny. Then we can draw 2 or maybe 3 if we sack a commander. It's neat. Then we get to have, give me every commander in this game right goddamn now. Give me them. Gain all control of them. Put them on the battlefield from wherever they're hiding around. Give me them right now. And then there's Jessica. Basically, it rage baits me because it only enters with a loyalty counter for each time you've cast a commander from the command zone, and that kind of sucks. And it doesn't ever go up in power. You know what I'm saying? You get to 3x combat damage, though, which is really awesome. And then you can deal X damage to opponents. Basically, you're never going to choose creatures with the X damage. It's always going to be opponents because you're in red, in my opinion. So I hate to say it, but they're okay as partners. But if they go through a divorce and you get them apart, I love Tevishet. Look at this guy. He's awesome. He's easy to protect with the little thralls, and then you can proliferate him with some blue partner commander. Who cares? I don't know. Do it and you gain control of all of them. It's sick. And then Jessica basically is really good with Kedis because then you can make Kedis. You give Kedis a sword or something like that. Give him triple damage. He does damage to somebody. He explodes damage. He pump effects. Bing, bada, boom. He does a lot of damage. It's sick. They're good apart, but not together. You know what I'm saying? But ladies and gents, this is what you waited for, because there's one more commander via a loophole in the rules, in the fine print in Magic the Gathering's rules. We are allowed to have Grist the Hunger Tide as a commander because he's technically a 1/1 insect creature, which makes no sense to me because he's a planeswalker, but technically, because of the rules, he can be your commander. I don't know. Basically, then you get to make it 1/1. You get to mill, and then if it's an insect that you mill, you repeat. That's awesome. Then you can sack an insect to destroy something. That's pretty cool. And then opponents explode because they'll lose life equal to the number of creatures in our graveyard, and that's always going to be a lot. And this guy is just freaking sick. So, ladies and gents, this is the moment you waited for. Who are my faves? Well, obviously, I talked about Nicol Bolas. I like this guy. He's really cool. He's just inefficient because you have to pay 4 mana, and you got to pay 7 mana. That's expensive to get like a draw 2 effect or whatever, but he's really cool. Grist, obviously, I like him because you get insects, and that's sort of an unsupported archetype. I also get to run stuff like Atachic, Emerald Radiant from the new, Drift, Aether Drift, and you get to do the other Grist thing if you want, and then it works both ways, and it's cool. Because then you have a bunch of stuff in your graveyard, and if that doesn't kill them, you can make copies of everything in your graveyard. Whatever. Minsc and Boo, of course, obviously is awesome. You get a Hamster Blast, and then you can easy recast him because you're in green, so you're just ramping all the time. And he's like 4 mana, which is pretty on curve with a regular commander. And guess what? Torian Mauler can be a hamster. You know what I'm saying? So it's they're casting spells, so you get a big, strong hamster because he's a changeling. I don't know. It's really sick. Anyway, that does bring us to the end of the video, though. So if you liked it, hey, leave a like. If you subscribe it, hey, subscribe. If you want to support me, hey, check out the Patreon. Look at that. You can get custom decks, deck roast, deck help, etc., whatever. I've also got a Discord linked in the description down below. It's free and fun to join. Come and hang out. Also, what's your favorite Planeswalker commander? Leave it in the comments down below. Was I right? Am I wrong? Did I overrate? Do you play Elminster? No, you don't. No, you don't. Nobody plays Elminster. Anyway, have a nice day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.